Hello. In part one of this series, I mentioned that many important Anglo-Saxon religious centres were in remote locations, and that after the Norman conquest, for the security of Norman bishops and in line with continental practice, they transferred to urban locations. With no obvious candidate for resiting the Anglo-Saxon Minster at Ramsbury, and from 1058 linked with Sherborne, serving Berkshire, Dorset and Wiltshire, Old Sarum was chosen, a settlement within an Iron Age hill fort, surrounded by a wall on the edge of Salisbury Plain, where a new castle and cathedral were built. Overseeing the building of the cathedral was Bishop Osmond, a Norman noble who had also served as Lord Chancellor. Old Sarum was still remote, and with no adequate fresh water supply on the site, far from ideal. In 1217, with safety no longer a major concern, the settlement at Old Sarum run down and deteriorating, an increasing tension between the cathedral community and the castle garrison, a new bishop, Richard Poor, petitioned the Pope to be allowed to relocate 2 miles south at a crossing point of the River Avon and at the junction of two major highways. One of the canons is quoted as saying at the time, "Let us descend joyfully to the plains, where the valleys abound in corn, where the fields are beautiful, and where there is freedom from oppression." Bishop Poor was a resolute fundraiser. He and his large chapter of 52 canons agreed to contribute a quarter of their income to the project, not simply a new cathedral, but a new town alongside as well, for 7 years. And canons were dispatched across Britain in search of donations. Young King Henry III made a substantial contribution to the building fund. Master builder Elias of Dereham was appointed as a canon to advise on plans and to supervise work. Construction of the new cathedral began in 1220. By 1225, foundations had been laid and the east end largely completed, including Trinity Chapel, the ground plan of which precisely matched the apse at Old Sarum, perhaps with the belief this transferred the consecrated authority embodied in the old cathedral to the new site. A move to have Bishop Osmond recognised as a saint began in 1228, and that same year Bishop Poor moved to Durham. Work at Salisbury continued at pace under Elias of Dereham and Bishop Poor's successors, and the new cathedral was effectively completed in just 38 years. The architectural style of Salisbury is definitive early Gothic, two-centred pointed arches and lancet windows symbolic of two hands in prayer, flying buttresses at stress points on upper walls, and inside tall slim pillars with clustered columns. The spire pointing heavenwards was added in the early 14th century. At 404 feet, it has a claim to be the tallest in the country. Wooden scaffolding and a windlass used in constructing the spire were never removed and remain in position. Inside, the nave is relatively restrained. Uniformity helped with speed of construction. Elements of the more colourful and decorative east end, including images of saints and the labours of the month, survived the Reformation and underwent restoration in the 19th century. Traces of colour can still be seen on the pulpitum with its statues of kings, now moved to a new position in the morning chapel in the northeast transept, where you can also see an engraved glass prism of the cathedral by Sir Lawrence Whistler, a memorial to his artist brother Rex, who lived in the cathedral close and was killed during the Normandy campaign in 1944. The Cloisters, designed for Palm Sunday processions, and the cathedral close are the largest in England. Stone from the cathedral at Old Sarum was incorporated in the close buildings. All that remains at Old Sarum are exposed foundations. Repeated attempts to have Bishop Osmond canonised finally met with success in 1456, and his remains were translated to the new Salisbury Cathedral. His shrine was destroyed at the Reformation, but his tomb is marked with a slab. In an aisle is what is claimed to be the oldest working clock in England, said to date from 1386. It was restored by John Smith and Sons of Derby in 1956. Parts of the striking train and the great wheel of the going train are original. The mechanism, known as Virgin Foliot, is powered by 2 stone weights, which descend on ropes wound around a wooden barrel. The ropes have to be rewound before they reach the floor by means of large wheels on either side. One weight drives the going train, which is regulated by an escapement. The other drives the striking train, regulated by a brake. Today the escapement operates, but the striking mechanism has been disabled. Next time, our topic will be Winchester Cathedral. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons and click on the notification bell to be informed when the next video is available, or you can subscribe by clicking on the rose window over my shoulder.